I haven't made a video in months. I've also been absolutely horrible keeping up with my messages. So I apologize to those people that have reached out and it's taken me forever to get back to them, but I've been busy. We've been busy. My dad passed away a few weeks back, and then after that, we did a family vacation. I also did some crazy, crazy adventures that I can't wait to talk about. I did a trip to the Mayo Clinic, and then we have all sorts of construction going on at the house. Matter of fact, we have a crew here on site here today, so if you hear some banging around in the background, that's what that's about. Part of that crew is working out in the back patio, so I wanted to work on the patio today, but can't since they're back there, so that means I get a day off, and that lets me get caught up on some other things and allows me to make this video. So, hey, so for reference, today is August 7th, 2025. I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer 5 years and 2 months ago. They say only about 2% of people that have that diagnosis survive 5 years. So I'm in that 2%. They also say nobody survives 10 years, but we'll see about that. So over the years, cancer has spread to throughout my body, my liver, my lungs specifically, and then about a year ago, it spread to my brain. And typically, after it spreads to the brain, typical life expectancy is about 4 months. So that was a year and 2 months, I believe. So we're going to get into that a little later on in this video. So it's been 6 months, almost 7 months since my last chemo treatment. The plan from the doctors from both the Mayo Clinic and UPMC was to be on maintenance chemo for the rest of my life. But it got to the point where the side effects were pretty bad and it was just too much. And I decided to stop. So my new plan was to get as healthy as I possibly could and let my body have a chance to fight that disease on its own. So, as most of you know, I've made some pretty major changes. Switched to a low carb keto diet. I've completely eliminated sugar and bread. And without even trying, I lost 60 pounds. Like my BMI is considered healthy. 2 years ago, I never would have thought that was even possible. I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with, and I'm not trying to preach or be that guy, but like those people that are struggling with weight loss, don't overcomplicate it. Just eat real food. Eat meat, eat vegetables, eat some fruit. Cut out the bread, cut out the pasta, cut out the sugar. You don't need to count calories, you don't need to weigh yourself. It'll just happen. Hey, I also take a lot of supplements. And most of those supplements are aimed at just trying to reduce that chronic inflammation and manage the glucose levels. And hey, one thing that I've learned, like while doing the research, is like just getting rid of that chronic inflammation and monitoring the glucose levels and getting them down. That'll help with all sorts of diseases, not just cancer, but MS, Lyme's disease, or just chronic back pain. Take care of those things and things get better. There was a time in my life where I thought supplements were dumb. I was wrong. If anything, prescription pills, in my opinion, are dumb. Don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for those prescription pills, but like, I feel like if you're in the emergency room, you had an accident, or you had a stroke, or you had a heart attack or something, I think those pills are good for those life threatening moments to kind of fix it right then and there. But as far as being on that medication for the rest of your life, the fix should be lifestyle changes and diet changes, not just here, take this pill. Some of the other things I do, I'm still doing that red light therapy. I do that every day. Sauna, I'm in there at least 4 times a week. I stay active. I've also been experimenting with those repurposed drugs like ivermectin, fenbendazole, methylene blue, and every month I still do a 72-hour fast. I am surprised like how many people think that's a bad idea. Don't dismiss it because it's hard. It is hard, but don't dismiss it. It's great for you. I don't need to tell you that. Just go look it up. You'll see how great it is, especially the autophagy effect. It does good stuff. So let's talk about my Mayo Clinic trip. So Lisa and I were out there, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago. And it was mixed with some good news and there's always a little bit of bad news and that's okay. Because like for me, sometimes when things are going too well, I get complacent. Sometimes I need a little adversity to kind of keep on track and keep focused. One of my favorite motivational speeches on YouTube is from Jocko Willink, and it's called Good. I shared the link before, and I kind of actually wanted to put it in this video. This is actually the second time making this video. The first one got flagged for copyright, so I'm not going to include it in the video, but go watch it. Basically, it's saying, hey, if you can say the word good, you still have the ability to fight. And that's where we're at. So let's talk about the results. Those spots that we've been watching in the liver and the lungs, still there, but still super small. Not even sure if they're cancer, if I'm being completely honest. Bottom line, not really worried about them. We'll just keep watching them. The fact that I've been off chemo for 6 months and they haven't changed, it's pretty good news. Now the brain MRI, that's a little bit confusing. Like something's happening there. I'm not really sure. There's definitely some brain swelling, which, to be honest, that makes a lot of sense. There's been some things going on. I thought, what's that? It's the brain swelling. It's not much. It's not to the point where we need to do anything about it. I don't need to take steroids to knock it down, but there's definitely something there. There's also a new spot lighting up. And that spot is in the same spot or same area that we had that surgery. So we don't know what it is. It could be a tumor, could be a new tumor, but more than likely it's radiation necrosis. I don't think I'm saying that right. Necrosis, that's the word, necrosis. And basically what necrosis is whenever the healthy tissue around the old tumor starts to die. I'm not really sure they know how to fix that. Unfortunately, we were not able to meet with our neurosurgeon. He was on vacation that week, and actually he was out for a couple of weeks. But we did reach out to his team. The team really wasn't sure either, so they just said, "Hey, let's just come back in 3 months, and we'll take another MRI, and we'll go from there." So Lisa and I've been doing some research, and it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of known research out there, like how to fix this. Just a lot of experiments. Unfortunately, some experiments with some of the drugs that I don't want to take anymore, like Avastin. So I don't know. That's that. But do you remember back whenever I was saying, hey, normally after the cancer mets to the brain, usually life expectancy is 4 years. So, I'm a year out. So they don't see a lot of this because most people have died by now. So that's kind of where we're at. So anyhow, like I said, we got some good news and we got some not so good news, and I'm okay with all of it. It's just giving me some extra motivation. Hey, maybe we'll try some new treatment ideas. Like I did read somewhere that maybe a way to treat that is with hyperbaric oxygen treatment, and I've always wanted to try that, but been a little nervous too since I had that lung lobectomy a while back. So I'd like to, if I'm going to do that, I want to do that in a hospital setting. So I don't know, maybe we'll get to try that. So enough about that. Just know, Lisa and I have been doing well. I've had some crazy adventures that I want to talk about. Maybe next week or the week after, whenever I get a chance, we'll go into some details because I want to talk about it. And I've got some people to thank for this crazy adventures, but also the construction projects here at the house. We've had 5 major projects scheduled for this year. Well, 6 if you're including all the spouting and stuff we got done. But I've got 3 of those done. I've got 2 more that should be done here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then that last final one is probably stressing Lisa out the most. That one was supposed to be done in early May, and here we are, August, still not scheduled yet. I'm not sure what the holdup is, but it's amazing to me, like the contractors in our immediate area versus contractors maybe a little bit more to the north, maybe not quite as good. So maybe we'll make a video showing off the projects, talking about those great contractors that have been here. But anyhow, enough of this. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the messages. I'm sorry I haven't been reaching out. Sorry I haven't been posting, but I'm good. So thank you for your support. Later.